Hello and welcome. I wanted to jump on today and show the album that we're going to start working on next Thursday. And it's this poor little, this is old. It's coming apart. So I wanted to show you though what I'm going to start next Thursday, the 20th. No, it's the 30th. Can you believe it? It's the 30th. Hi, Irene. Hi, Karina. Hi, Taylor. And I had a request because I never did a tutorial for this very old album. So I have remade it. And I'm still going to do things a little different for the tutorial. A lot of times when we've made projects and there's no tutorial, we go back and realize, oh, I need to change what I've done. And that was kind of the case with this. It was back when October Afternoon was still here. So this is almost 7 years old. And somebody, hi, Tanya, somebody dug it up and asked me to remake it. So that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to warn you ahead of time. And that's why I want to just do things a little different. I did take the size down just a little bit. So this is a half inch shorter. Hi, Anne-Marie, and a half inch shorter. So I did bring it down a little bit. This is 8 by 8. This is gonna, 8 by 8, 7.5 by 7.5 is all. And the reason being was to save some paper. Because if I cut it 7 by 7, I have a 5-inch piece. So there's some reasons here. And if I cut it bigger, then we're going to have to use almost double the cardstock. So I'm also going to let you know everything I use. So if you want to order it, hi, Annette, how are you? And I'm going to start with the cover. And I used the shaker dome from Sizzix. These are so easy, okay? All you do is peel the white strip off. I did use hot art glitter glue. And then I used the twine. And really, you don't even have to. That edge doesn't show that much. And these are in the store under the Sizzix shaker domes. And these are coming out. I need to get them in a little back. And this is Purple Rain. But there are so many colors that are going to look fabulous with this. There's the gold. I almost used gold. The gold shaker ones in there because the gold would be gorgeous. And then, of course, are matching, and they match so well. I'm going to show you where I use them. The charms, absolutely adorable for Country Craft Creations. But the Prima Halloween mixture of flowers just looks really good. So I put the charms just here on the book in the flowers and the bats, 2 bats, and I put one inside. And so to make this, I started with the 8 by 8 Bewitching Hour, but I'm going to be honest with you, you need a full collection and then another sheet. So I would get 2 8 by 8s. I haven't made it with the 12 by 12, but I think with one 12 by 12, you could probably get it done. But I did have 2 full collections. I'll give you those colors. And I had this much left. So you can make another folio or something fun. You'll have quite a bit left. But to get through it with the 8 by 8, you need it. Because some pages take the full 8 by 8 when you're using the 8 by 8. And I put the stars on the side. I just love this. And I just really had to see this collection. I had to create something with it. You know, you create them and you work with the graphic people, and then all of a sudden it's like, but I need to see it being used, right? And I did put probably too many shaker pieces in there. I got a little excited because I thought they were so cute. They kind of hide my pumpkins there. And when we open it, so a couple of changes. The front on the original, I put the inside cover actually on the front cover. I did not here because I wanted to have this dome. So I moved it to this inside cover. And this is the 8 by 8, but this has been fussy cut. I fussy cut from the second sheet so that I could just extend it, even though, see, there's I wanted this whole, the pumpkin is delivered, the whole, most parts of the pumpkin, it goes through, and it's the Irish, basically, how the Hallows Eve and how the Irish turnips were carved in Ireland. And so it's true factual. And being Irish, of course, that had to be in there, right? But I wanted the pumpkins to continue to the front. So that's where my second sheet came in, and fresh organic. And I wanted to kind of keep the wording. Then on the inside, so if you're going to make this with me, this is where you're going to write down the colors. Tanya has put together, Tanya's on our Country Craft Creations team. She's put together some colors too. You can use hers. It doesn't matter, but I used 3 sheets of, hold on here, I'm just checking them so I don't tell you wrong. Okay. I used 2 sheets of plum. So these are the My Colors. If you just go to My Colors or put in the search bar on countrycraftcreations.com, put in plum. So this one's the plum. And then I did use 2 sheets of deep purple. You can kind of, and it's not necessary. You don't have to get the 2 purples. Just loved them. But they are My Colors canvas. So I will, My Colors canvas, deep purple, and plum. And I will also post these on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations so that you can see the colors. So lots of photo room, lots of journaling if you want. And you'll see in a minute why we used so much paper. And then I'm going to try and give you some alternatives, but our basic gray magnets large, I did use a full package and then this many. So it's like 1.5 packages of large magnets. So if you don't want to go that extreme, you can use seam binding. And I did use some seam binding in some areas, and we can also use it in some of these other areas where I have the magnets. Okay, so again, this is where I changed the size by the 1/2 inches. No, the My Colors is not the same weight, and it's only it's smooth on one side, and it does crack if you try to wrap your albums with it. I mean, you can if you're very, very gentle. It will work. My Colors is the original Basil cardstock. Okay. What happened was the Basil name was bought by American Crafts many years ago. And as many of you know, American Crafts buys the name like they bought Bo Bunny, but they don't keep the same quality. They use a lot of recycled. That's why I do not carry it at my store. If you've ever seen true paper being recycled that comes over from China, go to a YouTube video and look up recycled paper in China. They recycle it with dirty water. And I'm not lying. Go look on YouTube. And so the paper, anyway, American Crafts took the name Basil. They sell Basil. They sell it in Hobby Lobby. It is not the true Basil. This is the true Basil. It is made now. My Colors changed the name. And Basil is the true Basil is now My Colors, but he had to wait, of course. I don't know this for sure, but I'm positive he had to wait a certain amount of time before he could do that. You know, when you sell a company, you usually have a no compete clause, but I can't speak for the company. I'm just saying what I think, but I have talked to him. And so this is the true Basil. It's under My Colors. It is beautiful. It works well, but it does, you know, it doesn't really wrap your projects well, but you certainly could. The weight of this, hold on, let me grab my artisan. Now, see, mine's about 85. This, I'm going to say it's 80. I believe it is 80. Yeah, Basil. So this is the true Basil, but it is called My Colors, and I sell every color on the website. But this is where I changed the size. No, it's not flimsy. It's very nice. I changed the size so that I could use my 5-inch pieces. If I'd gone with this being bigger, 8, we would have used other full sheets instead of our scraps. So you'll see in the tutorial. But here we have a lot of room for photos. Yes, there are over 120 colors. They are on the website. I'll show you the different textures. And Tanya has put together colors to match all of the new Country Craft Creations collections. So then our center is going to open, and this is where I wanted the darker I mean the lighter, and then I use the darker elsewhere. So this is where I've used the plum. And cute little spots for your little ghosts and goblins. And of course, Wilbur, my grandkids will go in here. We already started taking pictures last night as the teenage girls were watching Movie on the Deck. And when we do the tutorial, we're going to create the album, but I'm actually matting my next one with Christmas Cheer by Country Craft Creations. And so I'm going to create the album with you, but we're not going to mat that. I'll walk you through, if you're new, it's very simple. Your 1/8 of an inch, and we'll talk about that in the tutorial. So I did the swing tab like I did in the original. There's our haunted house. And our little witches. And then for the yellow, Tanya has, like I said, I'm going to post Tanya's colors that she chose to go with it also. So you can use either one. It's going to look really nice, but you're going to want 3 sheets of each coordinating color. This one is goldenrod. And it's the canvas. So again, photos. And then I like to do a lot of printing out. So the girls last night were watching Hocus Pocus. And so I want to type out some of the cute sayings from there. And I'll put their pictures here from on the deck. We put the projector up for them. And they were out back. We do that. They're 16 to 19. So they kind of like to be left alone after Grandma and Grandpa set up everything for them, right? Then we have this little fold out. Now this one is the dots, and I love the dots because see, it adds some texture. And this one is called Cosmos. Cosmos. Angela, I know, and I usually make a Halloween album because my grandkids are now kind of bigger, but of course Wilbur gets dressed up. My beagle. But this is just so perfect for the teenagers. I thought, well, it's going to be perfect too for the little ones, but teenagers, I just thought this was so cute for them. Hi, Patty. Now, if you're going to sit this on your coffee table, and again, this is going to be one place that you can, compromise with your magnets. But you might want to have this sitting out on the table with some pictures, and you want it to say Happy Halloween. Mine's not lighting to 6. I have the dome on here. So then you'll put your photos, and there you go. And again, we'll have the center. We have the center. Now on this center, this is actually from my cover sheet. So I just cut my cover sheet from the 8x8 because look how cute it is. And it already looks like it's quilted, right? And then I used the Cosmos and the goldenrod on the backs because this really does need some of those colors to really bring out the other colors. Now, I believe Tanya put together a gray, and she may have put the blue in there, which is going to really, be gorgeous, right? So we've got room for photos. Now, one thing I'm going to change in the tutorials, I'm going to make these square because even I had, some issues going back. And being square, it's going to be a lot easier for everyone. And then for those that don't want to use the magnets, we're going to actually punch a hole. And we're going to use you can use a brad. I'll show you where I used a brad instead of the eyelets, or an eyelet. We can bring it up and tie it. So I'll show you some variations there. So if you don't want to use all the magnets. Then we have the waterfall with the Cosmos. Again, that was cut from my cover sheet. And that's also on the cover. Love, love this sheet. Then on the back, this is where I use that second purple. So you don't have to. I went with the darker, deep purple. I'm a purple person. I love purple. Now here is, in the original album, we used eyelets, punched holes. Here I just used, and they are so cute. You're going to want to grab these while I still have them. They're called the Sugar Coated Brads from Doodlebug. They are at countrycraftcreations.com, and you get the purple, kind of, I call it the candy corn yellow. You've got the green and the black, and I'll be using these again because love these, and they are glitter. They're just full of like a micro dusted glitter. So pretty. And there's where I put my other charm. So I used the bat, and I used the little flap here to kind of hold these guys shut. And then we've got the yellow again, the goldenrod on the sides. Oh, Tiffany, that thing is so old and beat up. Yeah, I loved October Afternoon, and I was working with them in the early days, and then one day he just called me and said, "We're closing." I'm like, "What?" He says, "We're closing." Oh, let's look at the center. So on the center of this one, what I did is I used my pieces and parts. So I just cut these to fit, and it'll be really cute to put those pictures kind of different orientation there. And then I used the Cosmos and a strip at the bottom. That holds it shut. And then here we have another one of my favorites with our ghost in the pumpkin patch and that wood grain. So that's where Tanya put some of the gray, my colors. Hi, Sharon. Let's go ahead and close this. And then we have just a tuck spot. You can still get your photo down there. And that is the back side of our ghost and goblins, or pumpkins there. So this is, so you have 5 kind of like signatures. They're signatures because of the amount, because they are like a unit. And here we have, my intent was to use the 12 by 12 cut aparts because you have the 3 by 4 that will fit. That's what I had done on the original one. But I didn't cut into my 12 by yet. And see, I only did a quarter inch gussets, just don't cut it. That's how old this is. So I will be putting from the 12 by 12 paper collection, the bigger cut aparts. Oh, and the cardstock I used on this was so thin. It's crazy. But it's good to keep our old projects. It's really good. So we can look back and see what we've done. And in here, I just used the backs. So see, this is where you might use some of your full sheets of 8 by 8. That's why it took me a full so just get 2 8 by 8 collections. You're going to use them for cards, candy, things for the kids, because we're going to be doing some other fun things before Halloween. And you don't want to do too much matting or build up in this, because if you do, then your pictures are going to be, it's going to be too bulky. So this, I did it, but I did a gusset on my things. I really wanted this in there, but then I have to remember when I put photos, I can't mat my photos because it's going to bulk that up. So that's one reason. Now here's where I went with the seam binding, and they match instead of the magnets, because I realized, oh my goodness, I was using a lot of magnets in this. So we have the 2 Q flaps. And again, I used the yellow here, the goldenrod, because it went with the candy corns and cauldrons. Black seam binding, but we have purple seam binding. And if I had had the purple seam binding handy, I probably would have used it. And I love seam binding in albums because everything is flat. It doesn't cause it to be bulky. For instance, see, this goes underneath this whole paper, but there's no bulk. So your seam binding is a great choice for closure. And This one, on the original, again, I used eyelets, but I didn't on this one because they're smaller, and I didn't really want to put the eyelets there because they also kind of covered up my little scene. Loved it from the little cut aparts. And again, the yellow to go with the stars. So this is the top of that whole. If you haven't seen this collection, I'll show you what I have left here because I don't have a full pack. And I just didn't want to cover. I mean, I wanted to use as much of the scenes as I could. Then we just have a little. It's a little bit bigger than 5x6, smaller than 5x6. Then let's flip this open. Oops. And this, the back side with your gold sparkles is the back side of our pumpkins. Okay, and there is the inside. So I kind of kept with the theme of the front, and I used the 4x4s because you have that sheet of 4x4s. I think there's some left. I'll show you. Then the white. So you can do so many things with this, or you can just look at it because it's so cute. It's so cute, but grown up, but not scary. And for the back. So if you remember in this original one, I had made the Christmas tree, and I just couldn't come up with a pumpkin and to make it really work with this album. And I will do something like this in a Christmas one as soon as I remember how I did it. Because it's been so many years. Like I said, I never did a tutorial, and it has been a lot of years. This poor thing's been through the war. So I just left mine with that black plaid. Used some of the little cut aparts. And I did the same with the back, just for photos. So let me show you, because I want to also show you, since we're just, let me tell you. So I will have the cutting guide on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on Facebook. And if you're not part of our group and you do join, make sure you answer the questions. There's a few questions, and if you don't answer them, the admins will not let you join the group. It's because we just want to make sure everybody's there for the right reason. But the cutting guide will also show up the day of the tutorial, which is next Thursday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Hi, Kip. Well, thank you. That means a lot. But I'll have the cutting guide, and I'll have the supply list of what I use, so that if you want to make it just like this one. So let me kind of show you, if you haven't seen this collection, this is the 8x8 collection. So of course, everything's going to be smaller. These are the 4x4s. This is that scene on the back, which I've already cut into. I don't want to show you the cut into papers, really. For those of you that have not seen it, the design team is all over YouTube showing our new paper lines. So be sure to just look up. If you just put Country Craft Creations in YouTube in the search, you're going to get tons of the design team's tutorials showing the new paper lines. So just put in the words Country Craft Creations. And again, do not throw these away. You want to reuse those. And here's an example on the 8x8. These are 4x4s. Now on your 12x12, they're going to be 6x6. So these are wonderful to cut out to put on your cards, to put on. They were made to be bag toppers too. So what you do is you just take your 4x4, cut it, fold it in half, and I'll be showing you how to do these bag toppers. So easy. So the papers were created not just to create a project with, like this, but they were created so that you can have some really easy, fun Halloween ideas. Then there's our Cauldron and Spiders. And here is, you've got, like I said, a couple of different formats with these. So these are the smaller, because this is only 8x8. So these are 2.5. Something like that. What did we print them now to? Yeah, 2.5. Yeah, a lot, and a lot of different countries and a lot of different people just aren't into Halloween. So I do have the really spooky Halloween, which is Midnight Ride, for those of you hardcore. And then this one, because I knew that we still wanted to have something that was fun, grown up, but maybe not hardcore. Yes, all of my paper collections come 8x8. And they come 12x12. Now, these are the 4x4s that I used on that center sheet. And there's like no waste. Okay, there's a piece of white paper. There's no waste. Now, again, these are small. These are the 2.5 by 2.5. But when you get this on your 12x12, they are going to be 3x3s. There's our back. Again, bag toppers. See how I put the lines through there, or the graphics? So when you fold this over, you have really cute bag toppers. That was my cover for this project. And that was just, so that is what I had left over when I had 2. And I want to show you guys something. So if you missed it when I did my tutorial on Thursday, our brand new, there's one more Christmas line being printed. And these are my samples. So I sort of did show them, but the colors were wrong. So let me just I should have gotten out a couple of sets, but I had to send one off so Tanya could get our colors put together. And then tonight, don't forget to join me live on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. We're playing bingo. Tomorrow is Wilbur's 4th birthday. So we've got a bingo game happening tonight, and one winner. Okay, I can't find the beginning of this page. One winner is going to win this brand new collection. There we go. So I didn't have the 12x12 when I showed this on Thursday. It's not available yet. Okay, this is not on the website. It won't be on the website for about a week and a half. We've got to get all this printing done. And this is called Santa's Little Helper. And I'm going to show it to you in the 8x8 and the 12x12. One thing I really want to show you is the different elements that were made and why. So again, Santa's Little Helper. Keep this top part. These are fun to use. You can stamp on the back because this is an artist paper. This is a vellum. Until I got into printing, I didn't realize vellum also came in different formats. I've had people tell me that's not vellum. Well, yes, it is. So the first thing we have are the tags. So these are the bigger size than the tags. And I'm going to kind of go in conjunction here with the 12x12 and the 8x8 so that you can get a good idea of the different sizes. The tags are going to be so perfect. Okay, how many of you, and I know you guys do, hit the love button if you do, or like button. How many of you make treats for the pets? We've got one tag on here that will pertain to a pet. So maybe if you make the dog bones, or you make just treats for the pets. See, I knew a lot of you did. You've got a tag, and there's your size difference from the 12x12 and the 8x8. But this, you could make the homemade bread, just punch a hole, put a ribbon on, and you've got a beautiful tag to go on your neighbor gift or your family gift or anything handmade. Just tie it on the end of the basket, let it dangle, and you can write on the back the to and from. Now look at that back. Isn't that gorgeous? Now maybe you don't want the tags. You're going to see something really unique with the papers for Country Craft Creations, because the whole idea is that we can take the back of this, and one reason it's on this beautiful vellum is it feels tea dyed. It has that texture of a tea dyed paper, but it has the weight that you need, for our scrapbooks. You can use this for a junk journal, or maybe you want more of just a natural outdoor looking winter album. Isn't that gorgeous? So we've got the spruces, we've got the trees with the snow, and that's our 2 different sizes. So in each collection, whether it's 8 by 8 or 12 by 12, you're going to have 2 sets of either your tags or cut aparts. And then you have 2 sets of these cut aparts. Now, these are 3 by 3s. Again, these are going to make, I'm going to use them on gifts. So I'll just put to and from. You've got plenty of room. So especially if you have the pets, we've got a basset instead of a beagle this time. We have some other little pets here. But we have a lot of non-pet tags too. And then here is your 8 by 8. Smaller gifts. And again, look at the back. So this is Toy Shop. It says Toy Shop on here. You can even wrap a small gift in this. It would be so pretty. And there's 2 of those. Those are they're considered cut aparts. Now, your Claus Bakery. This is big. Yes, it's big. And we're going to be showing you lots of ways to use this. One way is in a 12 by 12 frame that you've decorated and you want to put in your kitchen. So you can use this as actual artwork. Did I bump my camera because it's swinging? Okay. I'm going to be putting this in a frame. And Bonnie yesterday showed us all how to use the Aurora Flakes. So gorgeous then to add that to the frame. But you can use that side, put it in the corner of your kitchen, or again, you've got the back side, which coordinates just beautifully with the first look. So see, you don't even have to use the front sides of these papers. Look at the back sides. And they all just go together so awesome. Then you have 3 of these. So you could make 3 gifts from this. You could make 3 gifts to give to somebody from these. Then we have Santa's Little Helper. So yeah, I see a definitely going to be a Christmas cookbook in here. Then our back side. And the Santa's Little Helper is on the back side with no, pets. So it can have a little child on it. It could have you and your husband in the kitchen. So many different things with Santa's Little Helper. And again, you have the tea dye look to this paper. So this side is going to make a gorgeous junk journal. Okay, here we are in the kitchen. Love the wooden spoons, and the wooden spoons came about. I actually broke one of my husband's butt the other day, but I didn't hit him hard. It's just, it was old. And he was mouthing off. So I took the wooden spoon and smacked his butt and it broke. But you've got the 2 different sizes. Again, gorgeous. Look, take your Christmas gift, your Christmas thing, make a box from this. Can you see a box? Line the box, put it on the outside of the box, and you've got a beautiful gift. Again, if you don't want that side, then you've got your very outdoorsy, but you do have some shadowing of the flour and the spoon and the different baking utensils, but still, how fun is that? Then we're going to go to our rolling pin right there. I can definitely see a to and from if you're giving this as a gift. And we have it again in the 8 by 8. And the back side just coordinates beautifully with all the other B sides. Okay, this one is our official cookie taster. This one has music on it, and it says Santa's Little Helper. And this one is just the puppies, an official cookie taster, so it is different. And then we have it in the 8 by 8, but on the back side, if you don't want anything with the pets, then we have just our gingerbread cookies on the back. Very, very faint, shadowy look. Like I said, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so in about an hour, let's see, a little hour and 20 minutes, we're going to be playing bingo on Scrapbookers for Wilbur's birthday. He's going to be 4 years old tomorrow, so be sure to get on over there and get your words picked. So here we have hot chocolate because someone is going to win the 8x8 and the 12x12. Again, you put up the hot chocolate bar at your house in the winter. So that was where this came about. So we have 2 different sizes. You're going to see the smaller one at my coffee bar soon. I'll be really rugging up the edges, inking it, and then it's going into a frame and it'll sit on my coffee bar. And again, the back has nothing to do with, basically the front, so that you can use all your B-sides independently. But isn't that just darling? Oh, love it. Marshmallows, candy canes, and whipped cream. That'd be cute at a wedding, winter wedding, where they set up a hot chocolate bar, or gosh, anything. Okay, so we have our bakery treats. This one's a little bit darker. I wanted it to be baked a little longer. I know I have to apologize about the kitties, but we do have a collection coming soon for that. It won't be till next year. Next year's almost here, guys. And then the back side. So see how well they also coordinate. You've got your darker and your lighter side. And it does say hot chocolate. You can barely see it through there. So when you get your paper, you're going to be finding so many fun things in this. But you are going to think it's tea dyed. And here is our toy shop. Let's look at the back. So all the old newspaper advertisements that came at Bonbon Chocolates, Christmas Gift. So gorgeous for those books. Betsy cut that out, put it on your cover. Yes, hot chocolate is good with peppermint snobs, definitely. Okay, now we brought them down in size because cards, got to have cards. So we have 6x6, and you can cut these down in the center to make them a little bit smaller for your cards. Or maybe you just want to do smaller frames. Smaller frames that you want to give out as gifts, or put them on wood blocks. So wood blocks are very popular. And these in the 8x8 or 4x4. So you've got 2 of the Claus Bakery, 2 of the hot chocolate, but you get 3 sheets. Or again, maybe you're making a bag, handmade bag, and you want to put this as the tag. So cute. So cute. Bigger ones, of course, for the frames that are 6x6. And then there's our B side. So you can see how the B sides just can work so independently of your A sides. I'm going to make a little bit of a noise. Sorry. I want to show you. So here's our B sides. Most of them are just your shadowed out. Again, totally independent of the pets, so that you can use them without, if you're not wanting to do anything with your Sando's little helper guy. So the back sides will work so well for that junk journal. Just add some of the colors that you see there, and that is what is coming out in about 10 days, as soon as we get all the printing done. And it's all printed right here, local, right here in the States, right here in Utah, with beautiful white non-recycled paper. So you're getting the best. So you guys, at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, over on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations, I'll be doing the bingo, the Wilbur bingo. You still have time to get your words chosen, and I will be back live at 6, but I won't be on YouTube. It'll only be on Scrapbookers. And one lucky person is going to be the winner of Santa's Little Helper 12 by 12 and 8 by 8 for helping me celebrate Wilbur's birthday. Yes. Oh, Janice, how cute. She says, Janice said you could frame, let me put that there, the paper and give the paper to your vet or doggy daycare. You know what? I have the groomer that comes to the house because I have two that are 14 years old. They're too old. Hi, Dee. They're too old to take in. And so you're right. I've got to make a gift for the dog groomer. How cute is that with the pets on there? Thank you for that, Janice, because it gives us even more ideas of what to do. Okay, guys, I will see some of you over on Scrapbookers. Now, remember, if you are interested in joining Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations, there are questions you do have to answer. We're not trying to be nosy or anything. We're just trying to make sure everybody's in the group for the right reason, because it is a very, it's crafting. It's from the design team and for my store. We love to have you there. Lots of giveaways and fun, but just make sure you answer the questions so my admins will approve you. Okay, I'll see some of you tonight. Thanks for joining me for this walkthrough. And Thursday, again, the 30th, we will be creating this album. I'll make the whole album with you, and then you can go back and decide what paper you want to use to mat your paper with, your album with. So I'll see you in a bit, in actually about an hour and 13 minutes.